See the wave and try to flow on me, cause Uncle Demi with the bills and feeling right now. Come here to pioneer. I bring the light to the deepest secrets of different bills. At Uncle Demi, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. We're from the finish to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catch you.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is your man, Uncle Demi, and today I have another banger for you. I am going to give you Russell Westbrook, right? Probably, I don't know, it's hard to describe Russell Westbrook, man. It's like, he's one of the top point guards in the league. He's very unconventional about how he goes about his thing. People say he's a stat stuffer. I don't really necessarily think he really cares about the stats. I think he just more so is just, he's very internally driven. I guess that's the best way you can say it. To the point that he doesn't even trust his own teammates to get the rebounds, man. Like, he's all over the court, man. He's definitely a type of hustle. He hustles more than anybody else. He just outworks everybody. His type of style is completely different than what you say at James Harden. James Harden is completely kind of just, he's laid back, but he's relentless when it comes to scoring. And that's about it. While Russell Westbrook, he's relentless in everything. It's not anything and everything that requires effort. He puts 130, 50, 60, 2,000% into it. He is like a freight train just running all over the court. And that's what makes Russell Westbrook Russell Westbrook. But what we're going to try to do is to try to make him. And making Russell Westbrook, as you're going to see, is not easy at all. All right. Now, obviously, the slashing you're going to see is off the charts. All right. Driving layups 96, his driving dunks at 90. All right. Mid-range shots at 70 and three-point shots at 68. He can't shoot. I mean, we all know. I mean, he's streaky. Let's play that. He's a very streaky shooter. And I'm going to tell you right now, when he starts hitting threes, that's when he becomes unfair. That's when he becomes a cheat code. Right? Because for the most part, you're going to know what Russell Westbrook's going to do. He's going to put his head down and try to go into the rim. And then if it's not there, he dishes it out. Now, he is a more than willing passer, obviously. He's had a triple-double for 3 straight seasons. So he definitely passes it. Now, this one kind of threw me off. His pass actually is a 70. I was like, I don't know about that, man. He's definitely a good passer. But they only have him as a 78. His ball hands are 91. Speed with ball is 96. That's obvious. I thought it would be a 99. And then, of course, from the defensive side, perimeter defense is 83. It still is a 76. And then rebounds, of course, is an 86, right? So, obviously, he's a triple-double machine, so he's all over when it comes to his attributes. So, you know the badges are going to be all over. He has a ridiculous amount of badges, right? So, you can see he has gold acrobat, consistent finisher, giant slayer. He even has cross-key scorer, relentless finisher, of course. I thought that would be way much higher. I just shocked to see those silver. When it comes to shooting, obviously, you know, it's not going to be much shooting, right? Hot start definitely is perfect for him. That should be Hall of Fame. He is a streaky shooter, man. So, you know, I can see these 2 badges being on him, right? Obviously, he's a very streaky shooter. So, playmaking, of course, you know, he's going to have a ton of playmaking badges. Bailout, that's a perfect one for him. He passes out some of the most difficult shots that he does. Floor general is another good one. Downhill, definitely. Needle threader is a good one. Where we at? Handles for days. I was just like, dang, silver. You know, we got to put that higher. That's obvious. And then, of course, from a defensive standpoint, he has a lot of defensive badges, and he even has rebound badges. He has silver box out, right? So, obviously, you can tell that this is going to be an extremely hard build to make, to duplicate. But, of course, me being the guy that I am, I'm going to try to make him to the best of my ability within the My Player Creator. That is my favorite aspect of 2K. Let me stop. I'm definitely there all the time, man. I say I'm there 50% of the time making these builds, man. But anyway, let's go ahead and head over there, man. All right, okay, so check it out. So obviously, Russell Westbrook, he's a point guard. He's right-handed. He's number 0. If y'all want to go ahead and do that. The pie chart that I'm going with is obviously, I'm going with this pie chart here with playmaking and defense, because the playmaking and defense will give me an 85 driving dunk. So obviously, you know, he had a 90 driving dunk. That'll give us an 85 driving dunk. The defense is going to be good enough to where we can be able to justify having a defensive pie chart. And then, of course, the ball handling is going to be good. And then his shooting is right there where he's at already. You know, a 73 mid-range and a 67 three-point shot. So You cannot, the only other pie chart I think you could go with would be, where you at? Would be this pie chart here. But then as you can tell, the driving dunk, everything is good, but the defense is just not good enough, right? And the defensive rebounding is a 72, right? So like that's just something to keep in mind. The defensive rebounding here is an 80. So I mean, you know, it just seems like this would be the best pie chart for him, right? Now, when it comes here, of course, you have two different pie charts that you can use. You can either use this one up here for just a straight speed, but the 83 vert just something I just can't live with, right? I can't live with the 83 vert. I can live with a 94 speed and 95 vert with 92 acceleration. I think that's perfect, right, for a Russell Westbrook build, okay? Now, when it comes to actually making him, right, what you want to do is you want to max out the top three, all right? So that's going to be 85, 84, and 85. Then you want to go 3 right here. That'll get you exactly 12. Of course, you want to max out all these badges here. And then what you want to do is you want to drop this down to 1. That'll give you exactly 10. Then you want to max out your pass accuracy and your ball handling. Leave your post moves alone. Then you want to max out your perimeter, your lateral quickness, your steals. And of course, you want to go ahead and get the defense. I mean, your defensive rebounds. So that leaves you right at a 73. Okay? Now, before I talk about the attributes, just go ahead and get his height, 6'3", 200 pounds, right? You want to get your wingspan, and you want to leave it the same at 79.5. You don't really want to lower it because you just want to kind of keep his wingspan pretty long so he can be able to do what he does defensively, right? So when you look at everything here, you have an 89 ball handling, an 89 pass accuracy. You're going to be a speed boost off rip. You're going to be extremely fast, 94 speed, and a 95 vert, extremely athletic, right? Your lateral quickness, your perimeter defense, and your steals are going to be really, really good. I mean, like this, to me, this is 100% Russell Westbrook, right? I mean, you cannot ask for a more athletic build than this, right? Driving dunks at 85, you get contact dunks off rip, right? You can actually get up to an 89 or a 90, based on if you get 99.5. A lot of people can't get to 99.5, so I keep it on +4, right? When I get that, so then you get your mid-range shot to a 77. You'll be able to get your three-point shot to a 71, right? Your lateral quickness can go to an 87. You get your steals at a 91 steal, which is crazy. Perimeter defense goes to an 89. Your defensive rebounds can go to a 79, which is really close to the 80. So you better get rebounds. I mean, like, to me, there's no way, shape, or form you can say this is not Russell Westbrook, right? Now, when it comes to your playmaking, I mean, choose your takeover. It's either between playmaking and slasher, to be honest with you. And to be honest, I'm going to go with slash and takeover. Maybe that's just the old head in me, but also I feel like that's Russell Westbrook. I know when you play on my career that you will get the playmaking pie chart or the slashing. Just playing some games he has it. I don't know how many times. There's so many different players that had different takeovers. But me, I'm going with slashing. It's your build. You can do whatever. You can go with between the playmaking and slashing. He's definitely won't be a lockdown offender or a shot creator. I will not do that. So I'm going to go with slasher though. All right. And there you have it. It's a two-way slashing playmaker, and it says similar to at the bottom, Russell Westbrook. So again, we're 2 for 2 of matching up what 2K believes is Russell Westbrook and also what I believe is Russell Westbrook, right? So then now let's go ahead and test this build out real quick and just to try to play around and see what I think will be the best badges for him, right? So get this guy to 99 real quick. All right. So the finishing badges, he had a ton of finishing badges, right? And obviously we can't do that. I mean, he had literally almost 30-something to finishing attributes or what you call it, upgrades. But for me, I mean, he even had cross key score. Like, he had fast break. I mean, there's a lot. But to me, I'm thinking that going with contact finisher, relentless finisher, giant slayer, if you can go ahead and put that on gold, right? You want this one things get hard, man. But I'm gonna go with fancy footwork, right? An acrobat, right? Euro steps, hop dunks. And you know what? You could maybe we can drop Giant Slayer down and get fancy footwork there. All right. Giant Slayer is really good though. It's really good, man. You can either go between these two. Fancy footwork. The hot steps are just OP, man. The hop steps going into the paint. Acrobat when you're trying to do the Euro steps, right? Which I think that, you know, if you're not doing much Euro steps and you're doing constant hop steps, you don't need this. I think Silly Finisher is really good too, but you're only limited with 12, right? So then, you know, you're kind of just limited there. I would love to get Pro Touch. I would love to do consistent finisher also, but we just can't. Low key, back down punch would be good too. But again, we're limited on here, but at least we're able to get the contact finisher on gold, and we have some badges good enough to where you can definitely get your contact dunks when needed, all right? When it comes to the shooting, again, you're very limited, but I think that, of course, everybody's going to want to go with their quick draw. You can go with your quick draw on silver if you want to. That's something that I feel like you should do. Range extender, go ahead and get that on bronze, all right? You definitely want to go ahead and get your green machine. Hot start is something that he had, but at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily say that's something that you need, because that's just, you know, I just don't think that's something that's worthwhile on 2K right now. I definitely think you should go with your volume shooter for obvious reasons. I wouldn't necessarily say you need catch and shoot, because you're always going to be having the ball. This is an ISO build, or build that you're going to be having a lot yourself, using yourself, right? I would actually say that you need to go with Hot Zone Hunter, but I just don't know if you don't have your hot zones activated. You know, if you don't have them activated, it just doesn't make sense to have hot zone, right? Actually, what you can do is go ahead and get your range extender. Go ahead and get that higher up. If you wanted to, you can get your quick draw gold. You can get your range extender or your green machine or volume shooter. I think that would be the best. So maybe you can go like that to start off with. If you do get your hot zones, then obviously if you get your hot zones, then you definitely want to go ahead and get that. But if you only have a couple hot zones, it doesn't make sense. As this type of position, you're going to be all over. So it's not like you can stay in a hot zone and just shoot it, right? So just keep that in mind. This is what I will be going with. But I mean, of course, it's your build. You can do it any way you want to, right? Now, coming to playmaking, obviously the first two badges you got to get on Hall of Fame is handles for days and quick first step, okay? Now, from there, this is where, you know, it's all about preference. I think that you definitely should get your dimer on Hall of Fame also, because that's just, you know, I mean, he leads the league. He led the league in assists. He's always one of the top 3 guys in assists. So you definitely want to have that. I think that getting tight handles is good. I also think that getting downhill is really good. Obviously, for just decreases your speed in the ball in transition. So when you're on a fast break, you can just be ridiculously fast down the court. I think that unpluckable is something that's really good also. Get that unpluckable, right? Floor general, if you want to get floor general, that's good. You know what I mean? That's perfectly fine. I think anchor breaker would be good. But for me, I think tight handles on gold, unpluckable on silver, with these badges along with downhill, that definitely will, that it is perfect outline of what Russell Westbrook is. There's other things that you could use like bailout, needle threader, but let's just, due to the fact that we only have 20, and you definitely want to have these 2 on Hall of Fame. Dimer, hey, if you want to take your dimer off, you set your guys on it. I know a lot of guys, it sucks as a point guard to have to waste a badge on dimer, but it's so important to your teammates to have that. So, I mean, obviously, that's just something you have to have. Floor general is another good one if you want to have that too. I know a lot of guys don't even have unpluckable. They have that. I know downhill, some people say, well, I'm fast enough, I don't need it downhill. But hey, it's your build. You can do it any way you want to. I'm just trying to just give y'all my ideals as usual. All right, here, you definitely want to go get your clamps. You want to get your intimidator, right? You definitely want to get your rebound chaser. Can put that on gold, right? I think you should get chase down. That's a really solid one to have your chase down. Oops, I got cancer there. Your chase down. Be able to get those chase down blocks. From here, you have a couple options. I'm thinking that, you know, you want to have pick dodger and pickpocket. That's good. And then tireless defender, all right? So tireless defender is very important, because obviously when it comes to, and if you wanted to, you can do this, right? Or you can do that. Maybe I like that a little better. Just for the fact of is that, you know, you are going to be getting hit with tons and tons of screens, because since you are a lockdown in the hints yourself as a 2-way, you don't need to have a lockdown that's guarding the ball. You can do it yourself. Having tireless defender is critical, and I know that I see a really good effect since when it's on silver. Obviously, if you can get on Hall of Fame, that's even better. I feel like, you know, if you have it on Hall of Fame, them brick wall screens don't really affect you. You literally can still have stamina and to last a whole possession, which is dope, right? But this is what I'll be looking at. And of course, you know, there's other ones that you could think of, like, you know, obviously interceptor. He did have box out, right? But I just feel like being a point guard, just going down and getting rebound chaser is good enough. Maybe he's even getting on bronze and going like that. That might be good enough too, to be able to help out. But I think this is solid, man. These are solid badge lineup for Russell Westbrook. All right. But there you have it, my nephews, my nieces. All right, we have the Russell Westbrook build. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, you know what you need to do. Just go ahead and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like the video if you liked it. Liking the videos is very important. It pushes it further and further up on the recommended list. That would be really greatly appreciated if you can do that for me. But other than that, my nephews and nieces, as usual, you know we're making a massive grind to get past the, get to like 11K. That would be great if we can do that. If you can just continue to support me, that'd be great. I'm gonna continue to support my nephews and nieces. Continue to give me builds that you want me to do as far as rare builds, and also as far as NBA players you would like to see. It's not as easy as you think to make these NBA player builds, because obviously there's a lot of limitations on certain players that you just cannot get the name. So what I'm thinking about doing is just, instead of trying to worry about getting the name, just try to get what I think will be the best build for that individual, right? But other than that, my nephews and nieces, I hope you enjoy the video, and of course I'll be back really soon with another banger. And you know, when I say I'll be back really soon, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.
It's rare form. This my season, I'm just blooming. Rare form. They see the ways and try to flow with me, cause I like